see on the panel, Mceo Cloister Emerald Order, Freedom Teachings Maharata text. And this marks the beginning of all religions. All right, and here we're going to go into the origins, when it was consolidated, and then when it became distorted. All right, and I got the book right here, Voyagers 1, Sleeping Abductees. And let's get into it. So, let me see. Oh yeah, let me see and go up real quick, make sure. All right. Okay. So, the Mahabharata is an ancient sacred text translation of the Founders Race CDT plates from 24,000 BC, which originally contained 590 volumes and over 500,000 pages of non-dogmatic, egalitarian, sacred spiritual science teachings covering every aspect of mastering personal and cosmic reality. Before intentional editing and distortions at the hands of fallen angelics and corrupt human power elite, the teachings of every traditional religious belief system on earth, from Christianity to Buddhism and additional tribal oral tradition, originally emerged from the retranslations of the Mahabharata texts in CDT plates. The founders races of the via the Azurite Universal Templar Security Team, Interdimensional Association of Free Worlds, and the Guardian Alliance are beginning to return to Mahabharata texts in contemporary times in fulfillment of the promise of the Emerald Covenant. All right. So it all started 246,000 years ago here on Earth, when the teachings was, bestowed to us. All right. CDT plates, Emerald Covenant, and Mass Drama. The information contained within the Voyager series books, Cathara Biospiritual Healing System, Tangible Structure of the Soul, Accelerated Biospiritual Evolution Program, and related materials, produced through the legitimate 3GA speakers, represents translation of ancient records. These ancient records exist in physical form as a set of 12 silver metallic discs called the Cloister Torah plates, CDT plates. The 12 CDT plates are holographic recording, storage, and transmission devices that hold massive amounts of data in encrypted electromagnetic scalar standing waveform. Translation of data from the CDT plate libraries is accomplished through initiation of specific frequency transmission through which the disks activate to release their stored data in chosen form of holographic, audio, visual, or digital translation. The CDT plates were manufactured from a form of striated selenite quartz crystal organic to density 2 planet Sirius B, surrounding a radioactive isotopic core encased in a hybrid metal silver alloy compound organic to Earth. Come on now, it's scientific, man. Like, it's scientific with a bit of spirituality. Like, come on, man. The CDT, like, the more and more I talk, the more and more you're gonna realize how scientific it sounds. And it's referring to the particles within our environment that come together to create certain forms, right? And this is what the Mahabharata texts teach. And you know how the Mahabharata also is, the consolidated version of it is over in the East. So now, the CDT plates were manufactured by the Taran priests of and Magi Syrian Blue Human Holy Grail line races of the Council of Azure line, often collectively called the Azurite or Iani races on Density 2 Sirius B, GA Signet Council 6 and Guardians of Dimension 6 Sirius B Stargate 6. That's on fire. And the Universal Templar complex, right? All right. So in 246,000 BC, CDT plates were presented as a gift to the Urtite human race, the seed of the contemporary human lineage. So the Urtite human race is our seed. Like, that's where we came from, right? By the Azurite, let me go back. In 246,000 BC, CDT plates were presented as a gift to the human Urtite, to the Urtite human race, the seed race of the contemporary human lineage by the Azerite races, Sirius B, in honor of the Azerites, in honor of the Urtites entering the founders races, Emerald Covenant Co-Evolution Agreement Peace Treaty. The CDT plates contain massive encrypted tones. See, like, and when you're reading, learn how to listen. Like, don't just, I'm reading. You got to listen as well. Because then, like, you would naturally correct yourself or naturally know where corrections need to be made in certain books. So you have to listen to yourself while you're reading. Don't just read. All right? So the CDT plates contain massive encrypted tones of practical, physical, and spiritual evolutionary advancement teachings presented to the races of our 15-dimensional time matrix by the density 5, in parentheses, dimensions 13 through 15, Elohim, or exit parentheses, Elohim, Elohai, Elohim, Emerald Order, Seraphai, Seraphim, Gold Order, and Braharama, Amethyst Order, Melchizedek Cloister, Branoa. So you see the beings at the top of the screen? That's who I just explained. I'll read it one more time. These beings reside in the 13th through 15th dimension, so 13, 14, and 15. The Elohai, Elohim, Emerald Order, Seraphai, Seraphim, Gold Order, and Braharama, Amethyst Order, Melchizedek Cloister, Branoa. Right? The three primary founders races in our time matrix. So these beings exist as like, man, like think about a huge energetic body that looks similar to that with a light source in the center. It looked like water, almost similar to water. It got water-like way of looking. All right. The teachings contained in the CDT plates cover the full evolutionary history of life in our time matrix since the last life wave seeding 950 billion years ago up to the present. Right. Time is simultaneous in nature. Past, present, and future exist as multiple sets of interconnected cycles of evolutionary development that form manifest probabilities of possible experiential action. That's what time is, y'all. That's what time is. Time is simultaneous in nature. Past, present, future exist as multiple sets of interconnected cycles of evolutionary development that form manifest probabilities of possible experiential action. That's what time is. The CDT plates also contain future records of the many various paths of evolutionary development of human and interdimensional, intergalactic, intertime races, which emerge from free will choices rendered in our present space-time continuum, right? Of the existing probable futures or primary time vectors of our evolutionary development that exist as future experiential potentials, our present moment choices determine which line of probable evolution we will perceive in manifest form as a future continuum of time emerging from our present space and time. So fire. So whatever decision you make is going to be expressed in relation to you. So if you make a decision that to hit somebody, whatever decision you make is going to have an equal reaction. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what's going on inside of you. So some people may hit somebody, some people may not hit them back because it's in different relation to them. You know what I'm saying? So it always depends on you, right? But whatever decision you tap into, that's going to tap into a certain probable line of reality or line of experiential, experience. All right. So most valuable to our present time, the CDT plates contain extensive educational records pertaining to the founders' race creation mechanics. Listen right here. Most valuable to our present time, the CDT plates contain extensive educational records pertaining to founders' race creation mechanics, universal unified field physics, the law of one, inner Christ, sacred spiritual science, ascension, Merkaba training, right? The CDT plates also contain the history and details of the Founders Emerald Covenant Co-Evolution Agreement Peace Treaty, humanity's historical relationship to the Emerald Covenant. As designated by the Emerald Covenant reinstatement of 246,000 BC, the CDT plates contain the teachings of Master Templar mechanics, planetary, galactic, universal Stargate mechanics, DNA template bioregenesis, and cathara core template healing technologies. These master teachings were originally provided to the angelic human race of Earth in order for humanity to fulfill its original creation commission as guardians and keepers of the universal Templar complex. So we were bestowed as guardians. We are guardians. All right. The CDT place has served as an intrinsic part of human evolution on Earth since they were given to the Earthites in 246,000 BC. The first written translation of part of the CDT plate library was rendered by the Earthite human race of Earth. Upon receiving the CDT plates in 246,000 BC, the first written CDT plate records were a collection of large books collectively called the Maharata, pronounced Ma-ha-ra-ta, translates into the Inner Christos dispensations. The Maharata text was a collection of over 500,000 pages of condensed text transcriptions spanning 590 volumes. The Maharata transcriptions were handwritten on a form of durable textile paper resembling crisp, semi-translucent vellum that was in common use at the time among the Taran civilizations of density 2. The volumes of the Maharata, that is crazy. Look up vellum, Vellum. Look it up. The volumes of the Maharata were compiled in a large format and boast leather-bound books through a hand-rendered process that resembles contemporary perfect binding. The original Maharata books were transcribed in Anuhazi language, the first spoken language form of Density 4, Emerald Order, Elohai, Elohim, Anuhazi, Phelan Hominid founders races, out of which all other external language forms in our time matrix emerged. The 12 CDT plates were kept on Earth in protective custody of the Earthite human lineage until the Temple Wars, which resulted in a pole shift of 208,216 BC. Just prior to the 208,216 pole shift and decimation of the Earthite human culture, 10 of the 12 CDT plates were retrieved by the Sirius B Azerite races and placed under the Azerite Universal Templar Security Team protection. The CDT plates have always been coveted by many interstellar races, not only for practical knowledge they contain, but also due to their dual purpose in relation to obtaining manual access to the 12 primary stargates of the Universal Templar complex. The 12 CDT plates are part of a larger apparatus that included 12 corresponding large silver discs called the signet shields. The 12-inch shields, manufactured at the same time as the CDT plates, are a technology through which the 12 primary stargates of the Universal Templar complex, which span the dimensional fields and galaxies of dimensions 1 through 12, can be manually activated and opened. Can y'all double tap the screen for me, please? The 12 CDT plates, designed for interdimensional frequency transmission capacity, can be used to manually activate from remote locations. The signet shields and their corresponding universal stargates, the 12 CDT plate discs are the activators for the signet shields, right? Can y'all double tap the screen for me, please? In the wrong hands, the CDT plate signet shield technology could bring universal devastation to this time matrix. And so the CDT plates remain under the highest security possible, right? So the Earthite human lineage of Earth was entrusted with protection of the CDT plates and the signet shields in 246,000 BC, when humanity was officially appointed as co-guardians of the Universal Templar complex. So y'all know when God said he put us in a garden to lord over animals, or you know what I'm saying? That's a distortion. The word guardian, or the position of a guardian is not to enforce. The position of a guardian is to allow, observe, and only step in when times go crazy. Okay? So when God says you are the Lord, that means he puts you in a position of authority, right? It's the same for a guardian, but the level of authority that a Lord has over a guardian is the differences in the words. Lord Let's look it up real quick, because this is important. It's important to understand the words that are being used in order to describe our positions while we're here, and the reason why we have a hard time leading certain people to sovereignty. Someone having power, authority, or influence, a master or ruler, right? So our example of a Lord is to punish somebody if they don't do what we're supposed to do. That's what the God of the Bible does. He sets the example for what we are to be. That's why he said we're made in his image. So if he tells us that don't do this, I will beat you, what do you think we're going to do if somebody don't do something if somebody do something that we don't tell them to do? You get what I'm saying? But on the contrary, a guardian is someone who allows the person to make as many mistakes as they need to, you know what I'm saying, in order to get to where they go. But if the person calls out for help, we're going to come, but we're not going to come unannounced. We only come, like I say, in times of turmoil or when we're asked or when the natural dimensional blending periods occur. But a Lord is someone who enforces his way in and say, hell no. Just because you want to do that don't mean you do it. I'm going to beat your ass. You get what I'm saying? So the difference is in the words and the difference is in the examples. The example of a Lord is the God of the Bible. The example of a guardian is what we're being taught now within the Maharata text. So the Urtite human lineage of Earth was entrusted with protection of the CDT place and signet shields in 246,000 BC, when humanity was officially appointed as active co-guardians of the Universal Templar Complex. Can y'all double tap the screen for me, please? Universal Templar Complex, through which the Urtites' entry into the Emerald Covenant reinstatement. All right. The GA Signet Council 6, Council of Azurline, from Sirius B, reclaimed 10 of the 12 CDT plates under their protection in 208,216 BC. 2 of the 12 CDT plates and all 12 signet shields fell into the hands of various competing human and fallen angelic legions on Earth during the course of human evolution since this time, right? So, in the 1600s, the Azurites secured one of the missing CDT plates. In November 1999, the last of the 12 CDT plates, once called tables of testimony by the Knights Templar races, you see the correlation right there, was retrieved by the Azurites from a contemporary Freemason line through which possession of the CDT plate has been passed down from Atlantean generations. So basically that's like a you could say a battle between the Knights Templars and the Freemasons. The Knights Templars had one of the CDT plates, and was retrieved by the Azurites from So and it was retrieved by the Azurites from a contemporary Freemason family line. So not saying that the Azurites was part of the Freemason, but they were part of the family line from that has been passed down from the Atlantean generations. All right. This is like going into the extreme detail. So certain thoughts that you would have about certain occultic groups or certain beings, it applies, but you still have to go into the detail and how these groups came to be. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could double tap the screen for me, please. So where I say had been passed down from Atlantean generations. The signet shields still remain buried in various hidden locations on Earth. Since the times of 208,216 BC Cataclysm, the Azurite races of Sirius B Council of Azurline had periodically offered dispensations of. So this is where the information began to become consolidated. This is after 208,216 BC, the Azurite races of Sirius B Council of Azurline had periodically offered dispensations of knowledge translated from the CDT plates to the evolving human cultures of Earth. And when I say consolidated, I mean now it's being brought to contemporary humans, or the race lines or lineages that led up to contemporary humans, which is why, certain, like they said, oral traditions or contemporary religions, they are derived from the Maharata text, right? So dispensations, knowledge translated from the CDT plates to the evolving human cultures on Earth. Translations of the CDT plates were the first foundations of all legitimate spiritual teachings among all races of Earth before the genuine CDT plan translations were repeatedly compromised, destroyed, and distorted into religious control dogmas, right? By competing factions of corrupt human power, elite, and fallen angelic visitors. Right. So each time the Azurites offered return to the CDT plate translations, 3 CDT plate speakers incarnated through the Maharaji race line, Council of Agiline from Sirius into human indigo child grail line form. Grail line on Earth. So the Maharaji can be referred to Krishna, the blue beam. All right. So now let's get into when it was being distorted. All right. I don't know if some of y'all gonna be surprised, but keep an open mind. Right. So in Atlantean times, this is around Atlantis, y'all. The most commonly known third CDT plate speaker was Nibiruian, Anunnaki, Atlantean by the name of Thoth. Thoth. Y'all double tap the screen for me. I'm reading for y'all, man. You know what I'm saying. Yep, Alpha Omega, that represents the Alpha Omega Centauri, them fallen angels, man. Alpha Omega represents beginning and end. God, the God of the Bible says he's the Alpha and the Omega. So that's a fallen angelic distortion. So that means you got Alpha Omega Centauri DNA. That probably means you from there. I don't mind going on a tangent from here, all right? Because we're finna get into when the teachings was distorted. Y'all double tap the screen for me. I can read to you the race line of Alpha Omega if you want me to. What's going on? The Lord has sworn and will never change it. When I never change his mind, you are a priest forever, according to the order of what? Order of what? What's the name? The Lord has sworn it without change. Yeah, see, like I said, the word Lord, man, I don't subscribe to that type of word, man. You know, Lord is not what's the word? Revered in my eyes. I mean, he's not highly respected, but it's enough respect to allow him to exist next to me. Melchizedek, the Lord, that is your right hand, like that mark on my right hand that you say as the devil. The Melchizedek is never a Lord though. It's never a Lord, bro. I fear you didn't give me enough. Oh, I give you respect, Travis. Give me your definition of respect so I can give you that exact. Not even the word king, bro. I don't use them words. High priest is cool though, but king, Lord, what's some other words? Them words that enforce, those are enforcing words. But guardian, I agree. I agree that you're a cool guy, but that's the surface level. That's the surface level version of you. When I go, like, for people that's heavy into Christianity, I'm never against anybody, bro. Ever against anybody, bro. Ever against anybody, bro. But I know where I become uncomfortable at in certain people. So from here, hell yeah, I agree with you, bro. And I'll dap you up and everything, but I wouldn't subscribe to what you're teaching me. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the agree to disagree come, and that's where coexisting come. You know, regardless of what you study, bro, I'm right here. You know what I'm saying? I just wouldn't stop by in your live, or, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't chant certain prayers that you chant. You know, I just wouldn't do that because they invoke certain energies. I bet you did see Christ. I agree, bro. Like I say, what I'm studying here right now, it gave way to what you're talking about. So what you're talking about is true. What you're talking about is true. You probably did see Christ, bro. I would not debunk that. When anybody tell me they see God when they pray or they see them, I agree. See what I'm saying? You see how you're using kings as a way to make way for your truth? Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't with that, bro. Just because you talk to the king of Dubai don't mean nothing. I mean, it shows that your frequency is attracted to that person or area, but that makes me a witness, bro. So what makes you better than me? See, there we go. You see how you just literally slow it down real quick. Stop typing. You just proved my point. You see how you use words like Lord and King, and then you use the word better? That's how you know that those words invoke this type of energy. But if you say, oh, I'm a guardian, I couldn't say I'm a guardian, so I'm better than you. That don't even sound right. Like, that don't even sound right. How can somebody guarding something be better than somebody? because that position doesn't invoke power. I mean, it invokes a certain type of power, but not the power that, like you said, better than me type power. Like, no, that's where separation comes. I am an awesome guy, bro. That's deep, deep, deep down awesome guy. Not just here, deep down. And I have Jesus Christ in my life. It's the Christ consciousness. It's not a being. It's not a being. It's Christ consciousness. Because I'm operating from within, like right now. Like I'm not operating from here. I'm operating from right here, bro. Took a long time to get. Not saying this. Not saying just because I operate from here, I'm perfect. You know what I'm saying? That's, and even that word perfect. We're perfect in essence. You know, but our actions can kind of twist that up a little bit. Essence, spirit, consciousness, all the same thing. Just like I say, the English language is kind of English language. But yeah, back to this. Like I say, if you want, Travis, if you want me to read the Alpha Omega order for you, I will do it. I will do it for you, bro. All right. But so now we're going into the distortion of this information. In Atlantean times, the most common known. All right, let's see. I got you. What was in Voyagers 2? Yeah. That's crazy because we finna get into Voyagers 2 too. We're gonna get into Akhenaten after this. His in the level. Cause remember, Christianity derived from Akhenaten. Akhenaten was the first monotheist here on Earth, so he came here to give us some game. But then he got caught up in earthly life. Travis, can you double tap my screen for me, bro? I want some more people in here. Cause I'm getting into the information. Like I'm getting into the details of what's going on here. Appreciate you, bro. All right. Let me get into this. Yes, this is fire, bro. This is fire, bro. Like the like what they're teaching us is that we can travel to other worlds. We can travel. You know what I'm saying? Like we can travel, bro. This is not no. Oh, I pass away and I just float to heaven. Like no, bro. This is like a inner space travels, bro. Inner space, like Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, all these planets, they only exist here on inside this solar system and inside this local system that we're in. But we can travel, bro. We can travel. Who don't want to? Oh, it's like being stuck in a house all day, but now you got a car, and now you can go to California. Now you can go here, and now you can go. That's what I'm talking about, bro. That's literally what it's like. It's like right now, most of us here on Earth don't have cars, basically. Basically, our car in the spiritual world is the Merkaba field. That's why I say, where the folks at that wanna go to different planets? Like it's possible, bro. It's just particle rearrangement, particle transmutation, bro. Oh, I'm looking for it. Hold on. It's the progression of the Atlantean conspiracy. Then we're gonna get back to the Thoth and how he distorted the teachings. What up? Can you double tap my screen? If y'all passing through, just double tap the screen. You know, we can get some more people up in here. Then we can expand the conversation. But right now the conversation is only between us. What's up? Well, let's just get back to it. He ain't trying to listen. All right. So in Atlantean times, the most commonly known third CDT plate speaker was a Nibiruian Anunnaki Atlantean by the name of Thoth. Can you double tap the screen for me, please? In 22,340 BC, Thoth was entrusted by the Emerald Order, Melchizedek Cloister, Thoth, and the Azerite races to bring oral translation of parts of one CDT plate into specific segments of Atlantean culture. All right. So he was entrusted. During this time, Thoth defected from the Emerald Covenant in favor of the Nibiruian Anunnaki Dominion agendas, translating portions of the CDT plate into written form in a text that became known as the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Thoth presented the Emerald Tablets to the then corrupted Anu Melchizedek priesthood of Atlantis, which culminated in the final destruction of the Atlantean islands in 9558 BC, and subsequent chaos of human evolution since the colonization of Sumerian culture. In 2040 BC, another attempt to bring translations of the CDT plates to Earth was rendered through an individual by the name of Enoch. Who served as the second CDT plate speaker in that time period. Enoch's CDT plate translations consisted of 3 volumes of history that were contained in the Mahabharata, Book of Amenti, the Angelic Rosters, and the Book of the Dragon. In 10 BC, 3 Essene CDT plate speakers known as John the Baptist, Jesus Christ, Jeshua, son of Melchizedek, born 12 BC, see Voyagers 2, and Miriam collectively translated 9 additional books from the CDT plates, creating the original foundations of what was intended to become the legitimate Christian doctrine. These books included Jeshua's 6 books of process detailing self-generated ascension mechanics, core template, biogenesis, and book of maps and key. The technical manual for Earth's halls of Amenti, stargates, and planetary Templar complex system. Here we go, that yawning. Y'all leave me alone. The translations of Miriam were the 3 books of the cloister once translated in the Mahabharata text, detailing cultural structure built upon the founder's Emerald Covenant model. The Templar mechanics books of John the Baptist were not completed, as he was murdered prior to the completion of the CDT plate translation. The books of Enoch, Jeshua, and Miriam represent 12 of the 15 missing books of the Bible that were originally part of the legitimate Essene Grail line teachings. The Essene teachings were intentionally edited and distorted in 325 AD by the Council of Nicaea and the Church of Rome to create the controlled dogma religion presented as a Canaanized Bible, giving you all the game, bruh. Come on, y'all, roll in this bitch. The Cathari of southern France held some of the original Essene records of Jeshua and Miriam until the Church of Rome ordered extermination of the Cathari in 1244 AD. Before their demise, the Cathari hid portions of the genuine Essene records along with one of the 12 signet shields that had been in their possession. These relics will be eventually discovered in contemporary times to validate the teachings of the 3 CDT plate speakers of contemporary times. Once these individuals have completed their current commission translation of the 12 CDT plates, bruh, like, they literally just told us where the Christian doctrine came from. 12 of the 15 books. Wait, what did it say? I'm going to just go back to it. Look, the books of Enoch, Jeshua, Miriam represent 12 of the 15 missing books of the Bible that were originally part of the legitimate Essene Grail line teachings, which was going to drive and go into the Christian doctrine. All right, let's see. You can double tap the screen for me, Tony. Give me some likes in here so I can get some people up in here. You can double tap the screen for me. Other CDT plate translations of ancient times, I appreciate it. Other CDT plates of ancient times were dispensed through speakers born into Hindu, Chinese, Tibetan, African, Egyptian, Mayan, Incan. Come on, y'all. Come on. You hear me? You hear me? I'm telling you where this information came from. Like, other CDT plate translations of ancient times were dispensed through speakers born into Hindu, Chinese, Tibetan, African, Egyptian, Mayan, Incan, and Celtic and Druidic Grail lines. Since pre-ancient times, all CDT plate translations seeded into every Ophir culture have suffered the same fate of destruction or distortion. You hear me? That's why the Bible is being talked about so much, and that's why certain teachings are being talked about, because they're confusing. It's like missing something, and what happens is, on the surface level, it's like, oh yeah, it's missing something. But the reason we talk about it anyway is because it's something about the teaching that's like disconnected, like something is off, like, right? So since 216 BC, translations of the CDT plates were repeatedly given. Thank you so much for that, Tony. Since 216 BC, translations of the CDT plates were repeatedly given by the priests of Azarite races in order to prepare Earth humanity for the next scheduled Stargate opening cycle, called a Stellar Activation Cycle, or SAC. C, Voyagers 2. All right. During the next SAC to follow the failed SAC of 216, the angelic human race of Earth would be called upon by the Azarites and the guardian races of the Emerald Covenant to assist in healing Earth's damaged planetary Templar complex. When the next SAC arrived on Earth, Earth's humanity would also be asked peaceably to assist guardian angelic nations in protecting Earth's halls of Amenity stargates from fallen angelic race dominion. All right. All right. So yeah, that's that right there. That's the origins, consolidation, and distortion. I'm gonna repost this on my YouTube, so y'all just keep watching this video back for those that really, you know what I'm saying, want to understand what's going on around here. Because there's something going on around here. This is why we talk about it in the first place. All right. We getting into it, y'all.